Hey guys, it's me Kiana and welcome back to my channel. As you can see from the title of this video, we are going to be doing my September wrap-up. I cannot believe that we are already done with September. October is my birthday month, so it is my favorite month. And like I said, we're going to be doing my wrap-up. For those who don't know how I do my wrap-ups, I do it in the order of the books I have read. So let's go ahead and get started with this video. The first book I finished this month was Arusha and the End of Time by Roshni Chotsky, and this is the first book in the Pandava series. And in this book we follow a girl named Arusha who lives basically in an apartment above the museum, and she is known for lying. And one day on like Thanksgiving break, 3 kids from her school come and basically tell her, if you don't tell us like something that's true, we're gonna record this video of you basically being a liar, and when everyone goes back to school on Monday, we're gonna point you out as a liar. So she ends up breaking this lamp that holds the sleeper, and it freezes everyone, and this is when Aru finds out that she's the reincarnated spirit of a Pandava brother, and she has to go on this quest with her soul sister named Mimi to try to stop the sleeper so that the world doesn't freeze. I absolutely enjoyed this. I rated this a 4 out of 5 stars, and I already bought the second book, and I'm going to continue on with the series. And this is absolutely really cute. I love that Rick Riordan Presents. This is the first book I've read from this, but I've really enjoyed it, and I'm excited to read the next one in October. The second book I read in September is Beneath the Sugar Sky by Shauna McGuire, and this is to continue on with my reread of Wayward Children. The fifth book, It Comes Tumbling Down, I believe it's called, comes out in January, and I want to like reread, so I'm all caught up. And in this third book, we follow a lot of old characters, Cade, Christopher, and we're introduced to a couple new characters. Winsumi, who is a character in book 1, when her daughter comes from the future and basically says, "Where's my mother? I'm disappearing. I need to know where she is so she can put me back together." And they all just go on this journey to try to bring Sumi back to life so that her daughter Rumi can be born. I forgot a lot that has happened, and I was so excited that we got to see a lot of the old characters like Nancy again. We got an update kind of on the twins and other worlds, and I honestly really enjoyed this, and I hope we get individual stories of like Cade, Christopher, Nancy's, and the others' backgrounds before they came to Miss Eleanor West's school. And I still want the own story for Eleanor as well, but this was a 4 out of 5 stars as well. The third book I read was Lumberjanes Volume 11, Time After Crime, and I rated this a 3 out of 5 stars. This is just basically the girls that Mal hears a voice in the woods that she listens to, that she wants to slow down time because she doesn't want to go back home because I guess her family doesn't support her with her, I believe, liking girls. So she wants to slow down time in order not to be able to go back to school. But instead it slows down time at camp, and it makes more abnormal shit happen around the school. I didn't really enjoy this. Like I've said, I have a hate to love relationship with a lot of the Lumberjanes volumes. There's some I really enjoy, some I really hate, and this one was just in the middle. The fourth book I read this month, and I'm honestly really excited to say I did, is I listened to The Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue by Mackenzie Lee. This is book 1 out of 2 in the guide duology, and in this book we follow Henry Monty Montague, and he is basically this entired son of a wealthy British lord, and before he has to take over his father's estate and learn how to run anything, he negotiates with his father and says, "I want to go on this month tour around the continent with my best friend Percy before he has to go off to school, and I have to do this." The father agrees, but on one condition: he has to bring his little sister Felicity and then drop her off at school. Warning for child abuse, racism, a lot of sexism, but I honestly did enjoy this. This was a 5 out of 5 stars for me, and I kind of want to pick up the second one. We get introduced to a lot of sickness in here and how people treat people. Like Percy has seizures, and we see how people treat him, and that they want to send him to a crazy house basically because they think that something's wrong with him when really there's not. He's just sick. And I did enjoy this. I'm happy I listened to this. It got me back in the mood now to want to read a lot of audiobooks. And like I said, this was a 5 out of 5 stars. I then reread Clockwork Angel by Cassandra Clare. I decided that it was time to start my reread of this trilogy because we're gonna get the spin-off. I believe it comes out in January, February of 2020, which is really, really soon. And this takes place in Victoria, England, and we follow a girl named Tessa Gray and her brother, Nathaniel, Nate, sends for her to come from New York to London to live with her. When she arrives, she's basically taken by the Black sisters, who are warlocks. One's a warlock, one's a demon. And it's because Tessa has this power that if she holds on to something like my glasses, my hair tie, my shirt, she can transform into that person. And she is basically saved by the Shadow Hunters. We meet Will Herondale, the Carsans, and I absolutely love this series. I have a vlog of me reading Clockwork Angel and Gentleman's Guide, and I'll leave that somewhere on the eye. This was, of course, a 4 out of 5 stars, my favorite being Clockwork Prince and Clockwork Princess, and I'm really excited to continue on with rereading this trilogy so I can be refreshed when the new books start to come out. The 6th book I read this month was Maybe This Time by Casey West. And I rated this a 4 out of 5 stars. The same with the Lumberjanes. Casey West books and I have a love-to-hate relationship. I love a lot of her older books, but some of her newer ones I don't like. Like when I read Fame, Fate, and the First Kiss, did not enjoy it. This one I did, and maybe when it comes out in paperback, I will possibly get it. And in this book, I forgot what the girl's name was, but she is a flower planner. Like her name, I'll put it here. I cannot for the life of me remember what it was. She is from Alabama. It's a really, really small town, and she has this dream of becoming a fashion designer and moving to New York, but her mother has always put her down for it, so she believes in herself, but to an extent. And it takes place, we get 9 major events that happen in that town, and I'm doing a horrible job at explaining it, but I really, really did enjoy this. I gave this, like I said, a 4 out of 5 stars. It was really enjoyable. I love how it doesn't have the relationship with the parents. It's the best. It shows that sometimes parents do, kids have horrible relationships with their parents, and I love that because not every relationship is perfect. This was a 4 out of 5 stars, and I do plan on buying it. And then the 7th and final book I read was Lumberjanes Volume 12, Spring Eternal. And I gave this, I think, another 3 out of 5 stars. I don't necessarily remember what happened in this book, but I just didn't enjoy it, at all. I'm all caught up now with the series. And Volume 13, I think, comes out in January, February. But yeah. Those are the 7 books I read in September. I'll be leaving here 2 videos. Honestly, feel you guys should go check out. I post Mondays and Thursdays. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll be seeing you guys really soon with my October TBR. Bye, guys.